And yeah, it just didn't work out this time. But, you know, I had a call
Looks like they got the executive
with some others, went through analysis on where things stand and where why he dropped out. And he just, you know, there wasn't a path. And he had said earlier that if there wasn't a path, he wasn't going to just stay in this to keep going. And he had to make the decision. Do you stay in through New Hampshire? If you do, you're all the way, you ought to stay through Super Tuesday, which would require a lot more money, because South Carolina, you know, was going to be difficult too. So that's the path. He dropped out early and endorsed President Trump, and I support that move that he made.
You know, Al, you're the expert on these things. I'm not, but maybe I stand apart from a lot of people who said, what did he do wrong? You know, the reality was he was running against the former president, a very popular former president, who got even more so when it looked like a legal pile-on with all of these court cases, the 91 indictments, whether you buy them, accept them or not. It galvanized support for him in a way that might not have materialized. In fact, this might be a competitive race now without any of that. What do you think of that?
Absolutely correct, Neil. I mean, if you look at the polling back in March, they were really close, actually. And as soon as that Bragg indictment came out, the polling started to spread out, and then you had more pile-ons of other indictments, and it just never reversed out. I mean, Donald Trump had people rallying around him at that point. It became very difficult, and he had the incumbency, like you said. I mean, look, you know, Ford beat Reagan back in the 70s, you know, and Ford had the incumbency, and Reagan was a great candidate, but Ford beat him out. And so you know, most people running, the first time they run, most don't run the first time. You know, usually it's the second time around that people end up getting a nomination. You know, you'll second guess forever how maybe like you do with investments. You have a pretty good track record when it comes there. Would have, should have gotten this stock. A lot of people say, and then I did it one time like 300 points ago. But having said that, with him there was this argument, wait for 2028, because even if Donald Trump gets in, you know, the fact of the matter is he can only be in one term. And did that ever come up? Or did he take the Barack Obama to, or the Clinton to take advantage of this is your moment, run now, and you're going to come back? Yeah, no, I don't think it was true about that. I think it was really about, you know, was Governor DeSantis has done a great job. He won by almost 20 points in Florida. And, you know, he felt like this was the momentum and the time to do it. And again, there was the fact that one term was correct and that kind of thing. And you look at it from a standpoint of strategically, it did make sense for him to run. It just didn't work out. And I will say this, the other thing that happened, too, is there was a lot of donor money that went to this early, and there were massive amounts of negative factors all throughout of it that put down Governor DeSantis' support there. I think that was a big factor as well. And the problem with all of this, if you look at a multi-person primary, you really need to look at the second choice for voters when you're looking at that and making decisions. And the vast majority of the second choice for DeSantis voters, not the first percent, Trump. When you look at Nikki's second choice, 80 plus to 90% were DeSantis, not Trump. So if you ever looked at who should get out of the race and when they should get out, if you weren't wanting Trump, it was very clear that it took early to get out. If DeSantis got out, all that vote was going to come. We want Iowa by even more. And I suspect New Hampshire is going to happen. You know, all of that vote for the 6 to 9% is going to look at DeSantis to Trump and New Hampshire. Yeah, but they never know what people get out. You could also maybe argue that you receive the last one we're standing right now at the back of the Donald Trump if something happens to him. He's going to give him that guy or one of two remains out of it, and he says not to do that. He built up a powerful base to have that opportunity. So the great thing is that we see how things like that. Well, South Carolina was going to be a winner take all, and so to compete there, you're going to spend a lot of money, and it's going to be difficult with Trump winning both Iowa and likely New Hampshire to compete there. I mean, you go to the future with proportional. You don't have to win those winners take all, but that was not spending a lot of money. So it's really out of the range. When you look at it, it's a strong super team there, something like that. These money guys, what do you do? I mean, there are obviously would love to have some of the money and support there. Well, I'm backing Donald Trump. I mean, I'm there for him, and I support him. And so we'll see what they want me to do as far as helping. I'm happy to get involved. And we've got to win this against Biden. And Trump is clearing everybody. I think he's going to dominate New Hampshire. And I think Nikki dropped out shortly after New Hampshire because into South Carolina, he's going to lose her home state. And I look down that out. Why wouldn't she want to be the one fallback? Just in case. Break glass, just in case. Well, there's a lot of money to do that. I mean, if people are going to back her to do that, but I mean, she'll lose state after state after state. The base just isn't with Nikki, so it'll be really tough for her. And I will say this, Neil, I want to add one other thing to this. You know, I'm really curious about who Trump picks for his I'm going to throw a suggestion out there that no one's talking about. I think it would be very beneficial for him. I think Governor Abbott would be a tremendous choice for him. I think he brings a lot to the table. He understands the border. He understands Mexico. He's the largest oil reserve in the world. He understands energy. He can help her with a lot of money and bring up donor war. And I think he could probably stop a no-label candidate for that. Because there's a number of donors that he knows that are running that. So I think he brings a lot to the table. I hope they look at him as an option. He's an excellent choice as a one program for development.
Meanwhile, for your guy to understand, is any role that you could foresee for him in a Trump cabinet if it ever gets to that point?
Well, not currently. I think he plans to go back to Florida where he already has, and the legislature's in session. He's going to do a lot this cycle, and we'll see what happens in the fall, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, he's got about 3 years to go. This is an active term. Very good seeing you again, Hal. Thank you very much. All right, Hal Lambert. In the meantime, here, a lot of attention on the Democratic side because the President of the United States isn't even on the ballot. There's a frantic move to write him in. It gets weird. Madison Albert has more. Madison.
Neil, it definitely gets weird. Considering the incumbent president running for re-election, not on the ballot in the first iteration primary. We're going to break it all down, believe that it's something for him, and what this means for the DNC after this.
Nice.
Only in Vanguard, you're more than just
I found our friend.
That means your priorities are ours, too. I never tried to deliver advice because you need the weapons. That's the value of ownership.
Going down. Incoming Commanders.
Guess that was their stop.
Is there any other kind? Idling.
Here they come.
My name is Bob Gordon. I'm 55 years old, and I like to tackle life every single day. My life goes I make sure we're gardening, back at the pond fishing, running a tractor, or moving dirt, playing rock and roll music. There's always something
What was
to do.
that?
I've been taking
Gunman,
balance
get
nature
down.
for about 5 years. Balance makes you healthy. Feel better. It's just that simple.
Happy New Year. Get 35% off.
Shepard's blocking our escape ease with Cerberus.
Everybody, hang on. Shepard, what's happening? I know the old Shepard before Cerberus. Right now, I'm not sure who I'm dealing with.
Something wrong with me. And then my gynecologist told me
We don't have
that
time to
the
negotiate.
whole body deodorant
You've been
for
fooled,
kids
all of
you
you.
tried it. That
Budina's
goes
been
over
treated.
anywhere and
They were
everywhere in your
Cerberus.
body. I
We
tried it
missed
and I
We
noticed
do
the
them.
difference right away. Everywhere. You won't realize the body odor you just been living with until you try Rumi and
No.
it's gone. Go to RumiDeo.com to build your customized bundle
Budina,
today.
step back from the
Education
console.
starts with how you get there. So you try to get experience from one place to that. You've got to be this. Like in your itinerary, search from over 5,000 planes. Hey, and you're on your way. Nothing better than a personalized meal on board.
Beautiful day for the hospital. We should be landing in about 20 minutes.
A great vacation always starts with your flight experience.
The door! $10,000 flight credit.
What's my fake life story? I'm a photographer, and when I'm driving, I see inspiration right through my glass.
Sir,
So when my
sorry.
windshield
Anyone
cracked,
saved my life?
it had to be fixed right.
You don't know me,
I
Commander.
scheduled
No.
with Safelite Auto Glass. Their experts replaced my windshield and recalibrated my car's repair safety system.
We looked over
Safelite
every
is the one I
centimeter of
trust.
those tunnels,
They focus
Shepard.
on
Your
safety, so I
Cerberus
can
valve is
focus on
made out of
this
smoke and mirrors. He likes to fight. He'll show up again. Pardon me if I'm
But you
not
didn't know that the
reassuring you
President of the
that.
United States isn't even on the ballot in New Hampshire. I bet you didn't know exactly why that is, and I bet you didn't know how Democrats
That
there are
reminds me, we
responding
got your
to that
friend
after this.
Apparently, there's complications.
I'll get on it. Greg. I live in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm not an actor. I'm just a regular person. Some people say, why should I take Prevagen? I don't have a problem with my memory. Memory loss is not something that occurs overnight. I started noticing subtle lapses in memory. I want people to know that Prevagen has worked for me. It's helped my memory. It's helped my cognitive qualities. Give it a try. I want it to help you just like it has helped me.
Prevagen at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Switch to Shopify so you can build it better, scale it faster, and sell more. Much more. Take your business to the next stage when you switch to Shopify.
Consumer Cellular, this is Sam. How may I help you? This is a fun dial. Well, somebody's butt. Just thought I'd let you know that with Consumer Cellular, you can get the same exact coverage as the leading carriers, but for up to half the price.
In New Hampshire, it's really the Republican battle that's getting the attention. That's not to say that Democrats aren't running in their own primary, but here's the thing. President Joe Biden isn't even on the ballot. I don't even know the last time something like that happened. But it is a reminder just how little attention Democrats are paying to this particular state. But be careful how you look at the significance of that. Because those who ignore New Hampshire, I'm thinking Rudy Giuliani back in 2008, often live to regret it.
It's outrageous, actually. The idea that the DNC feels entitled to just anoint the president. You know, I'm old enough to remember when I was a teenager, Lyndon Johnson was an incumbent president, and Eugene McCarthy primaried him.
The President of the United States is not on the Democratic ballot in New Hampshire. It is a little weird.
It's more than weird. It's ridiculous. Our country was established to prevent the very coronation that we are seeing expressed right now. That's why Marianne Williamson and I are trying to wake people up. It's a hypocrisy of democracy.
You have to write him in. Why isn't he on the ballot?
He's not in the ballot because of a change in the calendar that does not recognize the results of the New Hampshire primary, but we don't care what the DNC says. We're here to support Joe Biden, and we're going to write his name in on Tuesday.
All right, but what if not enough people do write his name in? What if he suffers a huge embarrassment, loses the state that he's expected to lose in this situation where, of course, you only have to vote for him by writing him in? What's the fallout of that? Madison Arnold is following this odd development in Manchester. Madison.
Hi, Neil. Yes, the supporters of the president are very concerned that his name's not on the ballot. They want to do whatever they can to make sure that he wins the state, which is why we're seeing this big push, a grassroots campaign called, quote, Write in Biden. But let's take a step back and figure out why we're here. So this is all happening. Biden is not on the ballot because last year he instructed the DNC to change up the primary calendar, making South Carolina the first in the nation primary. New Hampshire, they did not comply, and as a result, the DNC said this is an unsanctioned primary, going as far as to call it meaningless. Biden has not been in the state, but his friends, well, they have been. Lending their support to the Write in Biden campaign, Senator Maggie Hassan both stumped for the president, but also criticized the DNC.
The president knows my feelings and those of the entire delegation very, very well. We have addressed our concerns with him directly, and it was a very bad decision, and we've been very clear to that.
Now, the Write in Biden campaign has been putting in the work, and according to polls, it looks like Biden should win the state. And again, there's nothing official here to determining what a win is. Everyone who's in the Biden, Write in Biden camp has been saying a win will be getting that majority. Now, Biden's two main opponents who are vying for those votes, they've been openly critical of this decision. They're attacking the DNC over the weekend. Williamson said to you that the DNC wants to anoint the president. Phillips claims the DNC is suppressing votes.
I've been a Democrat my whole life, been investing in it, been enabling it, been representing it. To have the audacity to tell you that your extraordinary 103-year tradition of a first-in-the-nation primary that you take so seriously, that you execute so beautifully,
I've got your
is
briefing,
meaningless?
Private. Let's fill you in before the
The
squad.
audacity of any party that would say that. It's shameful.
A write-in campaign, that is an uphill battle, but we are talking about one of the most recognizable names in America. Neil?
Put it mildly, Madison, great reporting as always. Madison, we're following that. The other story we're following is the border right now, and Donald Trump holding Republicans very, very much to view. You better be careful what you come up with, and it better be a perfect deal. That's his way of saying this one, that they're at least debating pushing back after this.
Just keep your gun pointed at the Reapers, okay?
I prefer it, thanks.
Grab your gear and find them all.
Claire. Because of TikTok, I've created a community where people can feel safe.
It's good to have you back.
About spirituality. I try to provide a really accessible way of them learning about religion and spirituality that's not intimidating. Somebody in the comments said, I have no idea how I got on Nun Talk, but I'm not mad about it. I'm going to teach you how to pray. I'm going to teach you how to meditate, how to connect with a higher power, because we need that. We need strength and comfort.
I don't know.
Our family farm, we grow rice, corn, and soybeans. Traditional tools are from Fort Worth, with tractors and combines. In the 30 years I've been farming, technology has transformed agriculture. But some in Washington want to stifle these technologies and empower our foreign adversaries to leap ahead of us in the tech race. Protecting our competitive edge will strengthen our economic, national, and food security. Our leaders need to support American agriculture by strengthening our technology.
Hello, I'm former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. A lot of times you can't control the amount of sleep that you're getting. You can't fall asleep or you're tossing and turning all night. You can't get the sleep you need to stay healthy. I know, it's scary, unless you use Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep is a product that's made from natural ingredients, and it usually works from the very first night you try it. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. Earning your body those quality hours of sleep that it desperately needs.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people who've experienced the relief and health benefits from getting a great night's sleep and get Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep helps you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed. Relaxium Sleep works from the very first night I took.
The first time I took Relaxium, and I slept through the night, I thought, wow, this works for me. I could not believe it.
Relaxium Sleep is studied, tested, and designed by a neurologist to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed. Relaxium is drug-free and not addictive. So you can take Relaxium every night and never worry about side effects. And the best part is, it can start working from the very first night.
When I take Relaxium Sleep, I sleep better.
From what I can tell, they sent several commando squads to investigate. None of them returned. They didn't ask me directly, but I think High Command is hoping you might help.
What's your take on this?
I'm telling you,
Relaxium is the real deal. Mike Huckabee is so confident that Relaxium will work for you, he's asked us to give away 1,000 bottles. Get your risk-free bottle of Relaxium Sleep now. It's guaranteed to work or your money back. Call 800-898-9322. 800-898-9322. Call 800-898-9322. 800-898-9322.
Parents, is this what your kids are learning about President Trump? There's a reason he's leading the presidential race, and Mike Huckabee wants to show your kids why with the Kids Guide to President Trump. Get it for free at freetrumpguide.com. That's freetrumpguide.com.
pain hits bad, so get relief fast. Only Tylenol rapid release gels have leave-and-go hold. They release medicine fast for fast pain relief. And now, get Max Strength topical pain relief precisely where you need it with new Tylenol for Sight.
Well, changing question. Did your advisor create a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
All right, the Supreme Court for now letting Border Patrol agents remove Texas razor wire fencing. This is Texas military continues right now to go to court. Back and forth on this. Far from settled, Anna Marie McNichol is in Eagle Pass, Texas. This more. Anna Marie.
Neil, the decision came down just about an hour ago, and here in Shelby Park, as you can see behind me, rows and rows of razor wire flying the Rio Grande. That could quickly change. Right now, we're not seeing Border Patrol in the park removing any of that, but like we said, we don't know what is to come. I do want to step out of the way so you can get a better look at what Texas State Troopers have been doing for the past weekend, installing hundreds of yards of this razor wire in Shelby Park, which is city-owned property that the state of Texas has seized control of with armed soldiers and also kicked out the federal government. Now, Texas state troopers have been arresting migrants who tamper with the razor wire while crossing illegally, charging them with criminal trespassing. But we don't know if that's going to continue or for how long. The reason Texas DPS took on this role of arresting those migrants was because Border Patrol was ordered out of the park. Now, the justices, by a 5-4 vote, granted an emergency appeal from the Biden administration, allowing Border Patrol agents to cut the wire that Texas has installed, at least while the lawsuit over the wire continues. Texas Governor Greg Abbott defended his strategy earlier today before the decision on Mornings with Maria.
This is an invasion by people who don't know who they are, where they're coming from, or the danger they may pose. And so it's right for Texas to have taken up the steps that we have taken to crack down on the illegal crossings.
Now, we did reach out to Governor Greg Abbott for his response. Haven't heard it back just yet. The question, Neil, is what's going to happen next? Do we see a significant state and federal showdown?
All right, Dana, thank you very much. Dana Marie McNichol on all of that. Now on the phone with us is the Republican Congressman Gonzalez of Texas, sits on the House Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, always good to have you. Where do you think it's going? What do you think of the Supreme Court move to essentially defense?
Hey, Neil, thank you for having me back on. First off, there is no amount of razor wire that will prevent somebody who's traveled 2,000 miles from turning around. And I'd like to talk about how do we stem somebody from even starting that journey. We're talking about the very end when we should be talking about the very beginning. Texas, in Texas's defense, we're doing everything we possibly can to try to just keep our heads above water. And so, it's why I'm here in Mexico City. It's the second time I've been in Mexico in the last 10 months. I'm with Chairman Cheers, the Foreign Affairs Committee, and we're just looking for real solutions. We're meeting with Mexican officials and just trying to get to some real tangible solutions today.
Do you trust the Mexicans, though? They talk a good game, but they're watching all of this happen. They're watching the cartels go live. Practically, selfies of what they're doing. That's Mexico. That's not us.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, and you know what, we Congress cannot just allow the administration to be the only game in town. The administration come down and interact with the Mexican government. Congress needs to do a better job of we're the part of the purse. I sit on the appropriations committee. We give foreign aid to Mexico, and other countries. And so we need to have a seat at the table to go, here's the deal. We will always be neighbors, but we need to be partners in solving this crisis. And it is a crisis. And if you're not willing to have that relationship, then there's going to be different measures that are going to be taken. But Congress has to absolutely have a seat at the table and force, some partnerships.
That doesn't happen, and we're both sides are loggerheads here, and the betting seems to be that there will be no decision on how to deal with this, and it's up to the new president, whoever that will be, to deal with it. You buy that?
It's just a lot of people that are just turned into the next presidency. Our delegation met with both the leading candidates, Senator Galvez and former Mayor Sheinbaum. We've met with both of them to kind of have this discussion to go, look, this problem, isn't going to get solved in the next 4 months. But long term, we want to have a relationship where Mexico is doing their part and the United States is doing our part. Other than is also holding by the administration accountable. This Border Patrol to enforce the laws so that way Texas DPS and Texas sheriffs don't have to fill that gap, and House Republicans are committed to keep pushing that until we get real results.
The border seems to be the immediate, match here, and I think both sides would acknowledge that. But there's a reluctance with either side giving in, or the administration appearing to give in to Republican wishes to strengthen that border. And in fact, now you get these court decisions that make that a lot more difficult. I'm just wondering if that means that this part of it, a security agreement, doesn't come to pass at all.
Yeah, you know, there is a lot of money in the water. You bring up a good point, and the courts seem to be as busy as ever. So once again, I think it's where Congress needs to start leading. You know, yes, we have a slim majority. House Republicans have a slim majority, but that shouldn't matter. We have a majority. And we need to sit down with the administration and say, hey, these are the changes that need to happen. I'm not with the finger pointing. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. Right. And the American public demands something to be changed today.
We shall see. Congressman, thank you for your hard work. Tony Gonzalez of the beautiful state of Texas. You've been trying to get this over. Chris Crossing to both sides of the border. We'll keep you posted on that. Also keep you posted on some new news concerning American and British forces and these large joint scale strikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen. We'll provide the details of the significance of this, because the more we attack Yemen, the more they counterattack us. So if we're trying to take out that capability, so far it's not working.
Honestly, I was scared when I was told age-related macular degeneration could jeopardize my vision.
Great. One more thing to worry about.
It was all too hard to deal with in the beginning. But making a plan with my doctor to add PreserVision was easy.
PreserVision AREDS 2 contains the exact NEI-recommended clinically proven nutrient formula to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
Thanks to PreserVision, I feel better that I'm doing something about it, like millions of others.
PreserVision.
We are often falsely taught that nutrition is complicated. So we need to take 20 different vitamins a day to stay healthy. It's not complicated. Mother Nature's done the hard part for us. All we have to do is get it into our bodies. We all need good nutrition, and we all need a healthy source of fiber. Less than 5% of Americans are getting enough fiber. Balance of Nature makes it easy. Balance of Nature's fiber and spice is made from whole ingredients, just like the fruits and veggies, and is formulated to the same
We're approaching the Quarian home system. ETA to red out 5 minutes.
What have you got for the combos?
Together, fruits and veggies with fiber and
Pretty much a
spice
big old
make a
shitstorm,
whole health
Commander.
system. When
I
you
have
get enough
detected
fiber
several
and
hundred
enough
unique ship
nutrition
signatures
through whole
engaged in
spices and whole fruits and vegetables, your whole world